And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Flying weather Thursday morning. Band of IFR here, Alaska Peninsula westward, all the way out toward Amchitka Island. And marginal VFR here to the north, up to about the ice edge there around St. Matthew Island. And some IFR here just off Kodiak up along into Prince William Sound, North Gulf Coast. And a couple of zones here up over the eastern interior and along the Arctic coast up there. Otherwise, pretty good conditions here over the interior. And the Panhandle for the morning hours, some marginal VFR on the east side. And then for the afternoon, mostly marginal for the southeast coast tomorrow. And areas of marginal VFR, as you can see in the interior here, North Slope Arctic coast, forecasting VFR. Big improvement from what they got going today there for the eastern coast. And otherwise, most of the Bering Sea here, again, about St. Matthew Island or just south there where the ice edge is, on down to the Aleutians, looking at marginal VFR conditions. And then for Friday morning, Kodiak Island, a little bit of IFR there, as well as the Aleutian Range. IFR here, southwest interior, into the Tanana Valley, and then eastward to the border with marginal VFR up to the Brooks Range. A lot of marginal VFR here, again, the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And VFR for the North Gulf Coast, Susitna Valley, IFR, Eastern Panhandle IFR as well. And for the afternoon, Friday, looks like IFR, some mostly marginal VFR, and a little bit of VFR here for the southeast coast. Improving here over the southeast interior with increasing VFR across the area. Narrow band of IFR right through here, long and just south of the Yukon River, down into the Kuskokwim Valley areas, north slope to the Arctic coast VFR, and the northern Bering Sea here stays VFR, marginal to the south, all the way down and including the Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island. And for the passes in the Brooks Range, both Anatuvik and Adigan, mostly VFR and mostly marginal for Lake Clark and Merrill. Rainy, call it VFR there, and back to marginal for windy. All these passes rather marginal throughout the day on Thursday. Mentasta, VFR, Tanita, marginal, and Portage, IFR, especially on that eastern entrance. And Chilkoot and White, marginal VFR. Freezing levels here at the surface, just up into the southern part of the state here, north of the Panhandle, and also north of the Aleutians, and still maybe a little bit to the south of the Pribilof Islands. Icing, you can see a big area here, but staying south of the western Aleutians there, and areas of light to isolated moderate rime icing here, south central Alaska, Kuskokwim Valley down to Kodiak, and eastward there, and then some with a system here swinging into the southern Panhandle. Got some considerable moderate moving into that area. And the jet stream here is the low at 33,000 feet associated with that system there. That keeping the jet, the main core of the jet, well to the south. So pretty light wind flow here over interior Alaska, Bering Sea. Aleutians, northwest, 65 knots across Adak and Atka. And for 9,000 feet, high pressure here over the central interior, low pressure over the Chukchi Sea. Between the two centers, south winds 25 knots there for the just east of the Seward Peninsula up to the western Arctic coast. Light for the Bering Sea here. Strongest winds just south of the Aleutians there, only at about 40 knots at that elevation. Southeast coast, so 50 knots with that stronger system west of Dixon Entrance. And 3,000 feet, winds up to 55 knots there across Dixon Entrance and Prince of Wales Island. Easterly across the Gulf to the Barren Islands here and then into Shelikof Strait at about 35. Light up here over the interior and much of the Bering Sea, and the system out to the west here showing some stronger winds, but again staying south of the western Aleutians. Turbulence wise, should be enough of a pickup in the wind conditions out there to bring some isolated moderate turbulence from Shemya over to possibly Adak Atka, with the heavier stuff staying to the south through tomorrow. And light to isolated moderate there, southern Kenai Peninsula, Barren Islands, Shelikof Strait area. And moderate turbulence here for the southern southeast coast.